All right, welcome into your 15-minute weather. Meteorologist John Ziegler with meteorologist Courtney Aiken. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Oh my God, it's cold. It's cold outside. It's cold in here.
We need our jackets on right now.
Yeah, I've been wearing it all day. I finally took it off because I'm like, all right, well, we're inside now. And now I still need it.
Okay, so how do you feel about 50 degrees for a week and a half, and then you're like, now winter's here again?
Well, I mean, I think it would be more manageable if it didn't feel like January, right?
Okay.
Because this is more January-ish.
Right.
February, I mean, we could be some 30s. I'd be happy with that. 40s would be a real treat.
It'll
but,
be.
You know.
We've got a treat for you. It's 41 degrees today.
Am I being Minnesota-fied? Like, I don't know.
No. I think at this time of the year, the expectations get a little bit high.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, all right.
Well, especially if you hit 50 a couple days in a row. I mean, it was like 3-4 days we did that. And we have a silly graphic somewhere in our content library that's like the seasons of Minnesota are winter, fool's spring, and that's what that was.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was.
And then second winter is here.
Yeah.
Probably for the next 2 weeks. We'll probably get some major snowstorm next week. No, I mean, you know, it's just what it feels right.
So, yeah, it feels right to say that at this point.
But yeah, I think you got to find next year when it's winter and you're here for a full winter, you got to have a weird activity that you do.
Should I knit?
Not knitting.
Okay, not knit. Okay.
No, you just have to do, you can knit. So like I got into Roblox this year, like a kid's video game.
Yeah. Well, you have kids. No, you have kids, so you can do that.
Because otherwise you just sit here and you're like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know?
I've watched a lot of shows, like a shameful amount of shows.
That's good.
I think.
That's good.
I just don't know what else to do. And I talk to people outside, like around my apartment complex. A lot of them are from Minnesota, and I'm like, what do you do in the winter? They're like, nothing. I'm like,
you have poker night? You drink alcohol?
I'm sure the liquor stores do very well here.
I think you got to do something. Like it's like I picked up ice fishing the older I get.
Yes, I think that those outdoor activities are really important.
Ice skating.
Yeah.
Learn how to ski, learn how to snowboard. And obviously you already can ski, you're from Colorado.
Yes, so.
Boom.
There you go.
We'll figure it out next year. Now, at this point, I'm not going to lie to you, as soon as I stop ice fishing, I hate winter. So even for me.
Yeah, and that's what I remember you telling me early on is even for people like you have your winter activities, you get to a point and you're like, all right, let's wrap it up.
I feel like we're at the wrap it up stage. So we have good wrap it up graphics. Like, hey, here's what you need to hold on to, and it all happens with sunlight.
Yes.
The sunlight is our gift, right? Yes. And then the temperature is not.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the sorry.
You know,
it's the ope in the forecast.
It's the ope. I like that.
Do you?
It's the ope in the forecast.
Wow.
All right.
Okay,
let's get into it. So this is the good part. This was our sunrise from this morning. See if we can put that time lapse into motion here. The clicker hates me today.
Oh!
There we go.
The
Beautiful.
sun.
The sun. You're welcome.
Don't look at the steams.
So here's the deal. With the sunrise today, why is it significant? Because this morning was our first 7 o'clock sunrise of the year. It's exciting. So days are getting longer. What else? We also have on the horizon 6 o'clock sunsets. That happens on the 1st of March, which is also the start of meteorological spring. Not that it matters that much because it's Minnesota and it's still going to feel like winter. 7 o'clock sunsets, less than 2 weeks away. That happens on March 8th, hand in hand with when we spring forward. And then I'm going to get out of the way. 7:30 sunsets. Really looking forward to that. However, we still have quite a bit of time until that happens on March 24th, 29 days away as of this morning. Today, increasing clouds. It's going to take a while for that to happen. We still have the clear sky. 20 for a high today. Winds light out of the south. Maybe a breeze getting up to 5 miles per hour. So we're not really battling with any wind chill today. It's just plain cold. Sunset tonight, 5:52. Let's break down the forecast. Today, you'll see some more clouds by sunset and just chilly with those highs near 20. Now tomorrow could get interesting, especially for the morning commute. There is potential here that we could see a bit of a wintry mix. Now, unfortunately, the timing with that is in the morning. So that's something that we're going to be watching out for. It's not a bad idea to just begin planning in advance for tomorrow morning's drive into work, school, all the things. At least tomorrow afternoon, highs are going to climb above freezing. So here you go, 3-day forecast. Tomorrow, 34, then we cool down again, 20s for your Wednesday. Additional snow chances there, and I won't lie to you, there is some uncertainty, but a chance of snow on your Wednesday. And then we have a little bit of a mini warming trend. Thursday, 30s, and I think Friday we could get into the 40s, but that all comes before yet another cool down into the weekend. We're going to fall into the 20s, and I don't have a calendar right in front of me, but I think Sunday is the first day of March. Yes?
You're asking me.
I am asking you.
Well, first off, February is the worst because I don't think it's a leap year, right? It is Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, so we start March on a cold note. We're going to be in the 20s.
Yeah, and there's a chance that it gets even colder on like the 4th and the 5th. I feel like being on the jet stream like that into March is just going to scream snowstorm.
It very well could. I mean, we were looking at some longer range things, just killing time because we're nerds and we look at data in our free time. But it does look like we'll be sort of right on the cusp there in sort of a volatile area where there could be a storm. Or it could just be some cold air.
It makes sense that because we're going to be a line where the cold air comes in and the warm air and being smushed in there, that smells like a snowstorm. Not now, but because we got clippers now. We'll see what happens. But
that's the other thing about this week. I mean, it's not the same. I know last week, I don't want to say traumatized a lot of people, but a lot of people were upset. Right.
That we got more than expected.
Yeah, surprise, right? But this is what we have this week. We have those snow chances. It's a completely different setup, right?
What if we get 6 inches and we bust again? Should I quit?
I think that we change our identities and we move to, I don't know.
We won't get that one again. And here's why. The last one to get this like banding with this frontogenesis, all that banding going on, the low pressure center broke off the jet stream. Right. So there was no movement to the low. It was sitting there swirling and swirling and swirling. And that's what messed with the forecast. Clipper systems are on the jet stream. They are moving. So maybe you miss by an inch, but you're not going to miss by 7 inches.
Right.
Like last week. But anyways, I digress. Yeah. All right.
Take it away.
I'm over it, yeah. Let's get to the morning lows here tomorrow. So this morning, we had our lows at around 0 to, well, in some cases, Bemidji, you're at 15 below 0. And that's what happens when the winds die off and you sit under high pressure. But tomorrow, we're going to start sitting under the front itself, and we're going to be seeing temperatures actually stay a little mild. So tomorrow morning, it's not going to feel too bad outside. Actually, good news there, so we can actually have a fairly warm day. Here's what it looks like for tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to see the Clipper. It's going to come in from the northwest, so areas near Hayward, Duluth, Grand Marais, Grand Rapids, Brainerd, and Bemidji. I've got you getting maybe an inch or two. Down here in the Twin Cities, remember, we're still going to get this little burst of a south wind. That's what Clippers do. If a Clipper rides to your north, you get south wind. That's why it's 42 in Jackson, but it does follow with a northwest wind, and that will be on Wednesday. So temperatures will be falling there. So let's take a look at this microcast. This is 7 o'clock here tonight. The stuff starts to sneak its way into Brainerd and Grand Rapids here, and then it works its way through. You can see at 8 in the morning. Now, the Twin Cities, we have a chance here to actually get, let me get to this here. I'll draw on here a little bit. Let me rewind this. You see this at Bemidji at 5 in the morning? So I know you guys are watching probably in Bemidji, Brainerd. This would be a little bit earlier, so we'll be watching it live on Sunrise when this stuff comes in. But I wouldn't be surprised if central northern Minnesota get some bad roads at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and 8 a.m. The Twin Cities, it's just going to be brushing by, just literally just clipping the area here at around 7 to 9. Now, the timing of that's not great. That's the rush. It looks like upper level models, upper level air keeps it mainly snow or sleet, but you never know. Even a half an inch can bring us some bad roads, and then it's gone. This is mainly going to be up to the UP and places like that, and then we continue on and go into Wednesday. Now, the next one on Wednesday, you'll notice comes in from more the Dakotas instead of up from Winnipeg. So because of that, it looks like the better chance is going to be down here towards Jackson and the Marshall area down in southwest Minnesota. So this one has a good chance to actually miss us here. You see this kind of I would say Redwood Falls, Minnesota River Valley, better chance for getting snow. It's pretty far out, and models don't really agree with each other. I will be real there. But you see Mankato, Rochester, that area has a slightly better chance of getting this than, say, the Twin Cities does. Accumulations here. Take a look at this one up in Grand Marais. Grand Marais. Doing Grand Marais, 7 to 9 inches right on the border. So when you get up towards way up there, get up to Tower, Minnesota, Ely, Grand Marais, and International Falls, this is a legitimate snowstorm. If you're in Bemidji, Brainerd, so I even think Cross Lake, now this is tomorrow morning, Cross Lake could still sneak out an inch. So that's not bad news for folks that want to get out there and snowmobile. I mean, the snowmobiling up there is fantastic after this last snowstorm. But yeah, great snowmobiling weather coming in here to Bemidji, especially this weekend. 2 inches possible up in Grand Rapids. But this is the other story that we were just talking about here. And I'll zoom out. I'm going to put a little, why do I think there's a chance for potential active weather? Well, the jet stream is going to be right here. That's the best arrow you've seen in your whole life. Do you like that arrow?
I do.
Lazy.
Big fan of that arrow.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's the jet. And you just know that by looking at the cold air, right? Because the jet stream divides the anomalies above average and below average. So that to me looks fairly active because low pressure centers riding at Sioux Falls, Des Moines, or Chicago or Madison, those are our snowstorms.
Yeah. I mean, if you're somebody who's not done with winter yet and you're holding out hope for another snowstorm, it looks somewhat promising.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you March. If you go look at the history of March, sometimes I just go back and like go through every 30 days of March in the past 10 years because I have problems. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But you're just like, I'm just going to look because I want to know.
Yeah, no, there's something about it. Just see.
There's a lot of Marches where you get a lot of 60s. You'll probably hit a 70 this March. Even
really?
This March.
You think so?
Yeah, the weather in Minnesota is very volatile at this time of the year, very angry. Like May or April, you can hit 80 already in April, so we're right there.
Okay.
Okay? That might bring some tornadoes, but that's
Yeah.
okay. You're from Texas.
Yeah.
All you do is have tornadoes.
That is true. It's summer and tornadoes, and those are the two seasons.
Right.
Truthfully.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, what's next?
All right, I think I got a 7-day on there, walk through it. It was funny, we were at the end of the morning stream and we put up the 7-day and Cece and Jason were like, what is this? You just throw a bunch of numbers at the wall. And I think it's one of those things where we look at it so much that I probably wouldn't have thought of it that way, but now that I'm looking at it again, it does kind of look like we threw numbers at the wall. But this is kind of what happens when you have a couple of systems moving through. You get the temperatures up and down and all over the place. So today we'll probably struggle to get to about 20. Average high, by the way, 32. So we're a good 10, even 12 plus degrees below normal. We get a little bit of a warm up tomorrow. We do have that chance of wintry precip in the morning. Afternoon should get into the 30s, and then we're in the freezer again for our Wednesday. And there's a bit of a mini warming trend into your Thursday. Friday getting balmy in the 40s, but like we mentioned a little bit earlier, we're dropping those temperatures into the weekend, Sunday, the first day of March. John's saying we could hit 80 in March, but for the first day, we're going to be in the 20s.
Okay, how about 70 in March?
Okay.
Actually, I wonder what the record high is in March. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious also, but I feel like...
I need one of our fancy calendars.
Yeah.
Well, yes, finish your thought.
I don't even know where my thought was going. I think it was Ben who was showing me some data from a while back. He's so good at that stuff. And I think there was a March or definitely in April where y'all hit 80, right?
Oh, we hit 80,
For sure in April, but maybe a March. I feel like I remember this. We'll see.
There's nothing better, too, than at that time of the year, there's no bugs, 0 bugs. So you can get an 80-degree day where you don't have to have a screen.
You know, that's good because I've been having nightmares about that pincher bug that you showed me.
Yeah, if the giant water bug.
Yeah, so for
they
those...
call it a toe pincher, a toe biter.
A toe biter, yeah. For those who think that our backyard is iconic, which it is, apparently every summer there's a giant toe biter bug.
Yeah, look right now up at a toe biter.
And then you won't sleep.
The sting is wicked. You can watch people on YouTube get stung by this thing. It's about this big, and it flies like a bat, but it's a bug. It looks like something that you see in like the movie Jumanji.
It does.
Like,
oh my God, it totally does.
They like
Or
carry
Avatar.
you away. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it shouldn't be real.
Call it the murder bug.
And I said, I'll
Scary.
see myself out. Like.
Right.
Anyway,
Well, thanks for joining us.
we'll focus on the weather tomorrow. Less about bugs.
Bye.
We'll see you
Go
then.
USA.